So the lack of service delivery in KwaThema in Ekurhuleni has greatly impacted the lives of residents in the area. These are the views of some of the residents in that area. My colleague Naledi Moleo is in the metro and probing these issues from the ground up. Naledi, very good morning to you once again. So continuing the focus here on the city of Ekurhuleni and the discussion that you're going to be having a bit later on also with the mayor.
Yeah, I can tell you this, Aldrin, once you come to Ekurhuleni, when you need to dash and fill these areas so early in the morning, you realize just how vast Ekurhuleni really is. And we started off in KwaThema bringing you some of the complaints of community leaders, community members, and certainly community activists in that area, which is a township area that has some development, but also a lot of informal settlements in it, and concerns there around power, water, sanitation. Certainly when we were in KwaThema, in certain areas you'd see rubbish strewn all over the place, and questions around just how much rubbish and refuse collection is in fact taking place in the area of KwaThema. Lots of complaints as well around access by EMS services in KwaThema. And then of course we took you to Primrose, where we then speak to those that live in suburbia here in Ekurhuleni, also complaining about needing to wait 7 to 15 days for lights to come back after a power cut. And we spoke to the ward councillor there, who says that every time city infrastructure is stolen and a resident reports it, that resident is then made to pay 1,700 Rand to replace city infrastructure. But now we are, of course, in the city centre, really. And behind me is the City of Ekurhuleni Council building. This is where council sits. And we're going to be speaking to civil society quickly, just to get a broader view of the work that they feel is being done in this building here behind us by the leadership of Ekurhuleni. And for that, we are joined now by Mr. Ekurhuleni, who is the program coordinator for Plan Act. Now, they have 22 activists across Ekurhuleni in various communities that try and communicate those challenges to the leadership of the city. Mr. good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk about this. 22 activists that you've got in Ekurhuleni in various communities. I'm keen to hear which communities, in your view, are most desperate and really need urgent help where service delivery is concerned.
Good morning, Naledi, and good morning, of course, to the viewers. Basically, let me start by correcting that it's not necessarily 22 individuals, but it's 22 communities, and in those communities we have groups of individuals who work directly with Plan Act, and we're trying to make sure that the work that we do with them also impacts into the broader community. Now, I mean, coming back to your question, when it comes to issues of service delivery, of course, issues cuts across in this in communities, because they are mainly informal settlement communities. But now, specifically, one that I can highlight is the community of Steve Biko, which is in Etwatwa. I mean, since we met them in the last administration, I mean, that would have been before 2021, the last elections of local government. We met them around 2018. Their issue was always the fact that they are not as certain about their future, whether they will be removed or they will be upgraded where they are. And eventually they found out that the municipality wanted to remove them from where they are and relocate them somewhere. Engagements with the local authorities to get clarity as to when and where and who will be removed it has been a futile exercise without any clarity. I mean, I'm telling you, from around 2018 when we began to engage them, empowering them and beginning to engage with the municipality, we've not been getting clear answers. Up to today, they can't get permanent services, they don't have electricity, they have to unfortunately find themselves breaking the law by connecting using illegal connections, which is unfortunate because we know that energy is a very important basic services amongst other things. When it comes to sanitation, the municipality in the city of Ekurhuleni, the policies that they provide sanitation through what they call chemical toilets. And when you look at how those chemical toilets are serviced, because that service is outsourced to private individuals, you find that the maintenance of the services is not even when it comes to how these service providers provide their services.
Yeah.
More often than not, you find that they don't align themselves to the specifications as per the tender document.
That's quite concerning. So, in your view, then, where is the city failing? I mean, and are you surprised that Ekurhuleni has lost its clean audit status?
Well, not necessarily surprised. I mean, when you look at the instability that is, within Ekurhuleni, we had now 3 mayors within 2.5 years or so, and MMCs for finances as well. I think is the third one now. That on its own tells you that there's instability, and where there's instability, there won't be efficiency. So it's not a surprise that this has happened, but it's unfortunate. And of course, the hope is that the city will find will get its act together and hopefully do what is that is due to its communities, the most vulnerable communities in informal settlements who need basic services, which we know that everyone can't survive without access to water and some of these services like electricity, like I've already indicated. And Naledi, importantly, there's a national program, one of the housing programs of the national housing, the upgrading of informal settlement program. You look at how the municipality of Ekurhuleni have been dragging feet or moving very slow in terms of implementation. In terms of the implementation of that particular program, it is concerning. It's something that was meant to, ensure that informal settlements are eradicated, but there seems to be failures actually.
Why do you think there is a slow pace? Is this an issue of political will? Is this an issue of politics? And certainly the debates that may take place between political parties, meaning that political leaders are not focused on what's most important.
No, I think the last point that you are making, that leaders sometimes are not focused on what's important. But also, you mentioned political will. Also the issue of political will, I don't think that the municipality sometimes, focuses on their basic mandate.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Apologies for jumping in, but my colleague Eldrin, in a moment from now, will be speaking to the mayor of Ekurhuleni. What do you want him to answer to us this morning, particularly?
Well, we want to. What we would want the mayor to answer is when will the city of Ekurhuleni ensure that informal settlements are upgraded, those that must be upgraded, and ensure that those that needs to be relocated are relocated, and information is provided, clear information as to when and where will those informal settlements be relocated to.
Yeah. All right. Critical question. Piwe Serodi, the Plan Act Program Coordinator, speaking to us here, Aldrin. And I'm going to send it back to you. And there you have it. A clear question there from Mr. Serodi, essentially saying one of the key things that he wants to hear is when are informal settlements going to be dealt with, given services, all relocated, time frames, and where that is going to, where they will be moved to. But he also is asking for clear communication with the residents of Ekurhuleni.